Okay, hi everyone, and welcome to our trading room. Just a sound check before we start in another few minutes. So just let me know on the chat box if you all can hear and see my screen, and if it's good, and if you hear me good. So just write it down on the chat. Excellent. All right. Okay, thank you. So I'll be back in another 3-4 minutes. All right. Okay. Hi everyone. Welcome to the 5ers Trading Room. Hope you all feel good, and I hope you had a good trading week last week. And again, before we start, just sound check, and then we can start. So just let me know if you can hear me and see my screen, and if everything is okay. And we are just about to start. Okay, just write down on the chat box. Great. All right. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Okay. So just to remind you, this trading room is to support our traders and the 5ers and the daily trading room open only for the 5 traders who registered for our program. And if you have any questions regarding the program, we can take the few first minutes if you need any explanation or clarification. So feel free to write down on the chat box. And this trading room is mainly mentioned to allow traders to learn some new method. My name is Snir. I specifically talking about and analyze the charts, relying on supply demand levels. Uh, I work with the naked charts, as you can see in my chart now. That's the way I trade and analyze the charts, and that's the only thing I need, only the price himself. So in this trading room, we discuss and analyze pairs for the long and swing, short scalpers, for all the kind of terms of traders, style of trading. And if you have any questions, if you have any other pairs that you preferred me to analyze, you can also write it down on the chat. And if you have any other kind of assets that we not allowing and we do not provide it on the 5ers program, like indices or other commodities, um, you can write it down. Like last time, I think in my last trading room, it was a week ago, last Monday, I wanted to show you how supply and demand levels working and still counting at any kind of market. Of course, if it's market with a good and healthy volume and a large volume enough for to rely on the technical analysis. We can rely on technical analysis as long as this pair or indices or commodities that we are look at have huge volume. Otherwise, it's become less and less reliable. So I think last time I showed you how this supply demand uh, works on SPX 500, or I think we also analyze we look at the gold XAU USD, and the situation is the same situation. Supply and demand level seems the same as it look on any other forex pairs, and there's nothing else, nothing different regarding supply and demand, how it looks on indices, commodities, or any other forex pairs. All right. Uh, yes, Dean. I think this trading room for today, Monday, will be available on our YouTube channel, the record, of course, later. All right. Okay, so we can start. And someone asked already for the GBP against JPY, the pound against the Japanese yen. All right, so let's start. Let's take this one and let's talk supply and demand, critical levels, and things like that. All right. Okay, one question. Also, how can one become? Well, that's a good question. How can someone become a better trader, better swing traders? Well, I don't think I have a specific answer for that questions, but at least from my experience and in my opinion, you should focus first on supply demand. Supply demand, it's a method, it's not a specific strategy. All right. There are many ways to trade supply and demand. And you also can trade supply and demand for the long terms. You can trade supply demand as a scalper or as a swing trader. So first, I think you should focus, at least from my experience and opinion, you should focus on supply demand method to learn this method as much as you can, practice, and then you can just trade for the swing terms as a swing trader. It doesn't matter. You can trade supply demand as a scalper, swinger, or long-term trader. You just usually get the indication from a different time frame on the chart. So that's the only suggestion I can give you for this question. All right, so let's start with this GBP against the Japanese yen, and that's the 1H time frame. Okay, and as you can see, just close this and we can see better and wider the chart. I'll start with a higher time frame and then we can roll down. So I'll start with the daily time frame, and we can see that the price just about to reach this kind of resistance because it was a supply here. That's the original supply. That's the first touch of this supply. All right. And I think that's the original supply that occurred when the Corona crisis just started to affect all the other pairs. So you can see what happened and how fast it was. So that happened. The price created here supply level. Then the price, after much more times than it was, dropped from that level to this low. You can see how many candles took the price to reach from this value to this one, and how many candles took the price to go all the way back. All right. So you can see the difference. Where is the power, here or here? Okay. Obviously, the power is here. Anyway, the price created here supply level. This is the first touch here. That's the reason for this reaction. And at the moment, it is not supply anymore, but it is a resistance level. Okay, once the price already checked supply few times or even just once, it's not valid as a supply anymore. Okay, so that's the resistance zone. And to be honest, it in this daily chart, it seems that the price doing all the way up a bit like a compression situation. The price kind of compressed up. So compression, it's mean usually, not always of course, but usually it means that this movement is a bit powerless. Okay, you can see the difference how this movement look and how this movement look, or this. Okay, so this is where the price now, it's not an area to sell on the first touch. We sell on the first touch only at supply and demand levels, but it's definitely area that I would keep my eyes open and look for the reversal signal again. And I always mention this at this situation. How can we look for reversal signals after this conclusion from this daily chart? We can go and see what's going on in the lower time frame, and if we find any good reason for that, then we can use it. Like in this 4H time frame, I will wait for the price to break out this last low of the price. That's the last low. Okay, and if that happened, then that will be my signal to look for a sell position. What mean looks? I will look for a new supply. Let's say something like this happened. The price broke out this support resistance level, all right, and reach that low. And I will let the price to retrace. I look for the new supply that the price created and sell on the first touch. That will give me the first signal for this. So for now, if we look on this 4H time frame, even if we look on this 1H time frame, the price is still bullish. Okay, and we still don't have a good setup to sell. All right, so that's from this time frame. Let's go to the lower time frame. This is the 15 minutes time frame, and you can see how the price created a small supply here. All right, you can see they aggressively drop down from that level. This is the first touch, maybe here or here. Anyway, This is 15-minute chart. So it was a good level for intraday, maybe scalper traders. It provides this approximately 20 pips. Maybe it will keep moves down, but for now, it was good enough. And this is a level to sell on the first touch, exactly like this one, this small one. If you take a look on this 15-minute chart, we have this drop down, the price retrace to that level, as you can see, with much less power than how the price dropped from that level. And it's a great level to sell on the first touch, which is somewhere here. Okay, so that's the 15-minute chart. For now, this is too late to sell this level. It's not valid anymore. We had already the price already collect the orders from this level 1, 2, 3 times. So it's not a valid one anymore. And the next thing we can look for is maybe the price will break out this level. If that happened, then I will look for a new demand that the price created and broke out this level. And if I find something like this, I will let the price retrace and look for buy on the first touch at this new demand. I think that the first target can be somewhere here or maybe here. Of course, I'm talking about a scenario that can be fit only for short intraday traders. All right. Okay. So that's for the GBP against the Japanese yen. Against, unless if you have any questions regarding this pair, and if some of you in a position in this and want to get my opinion or other people's opinion, you are more than welcome. Just to write it on the chat box. All right. You're talking about the webinar. Sorry, you're talking about the webinar on this next of the upcoming soon Thursday. Okay. Anyway, I'll continue. So that's all for the pound against the Japanese yen. If you have any other pairs that you preferred, just write it. Okay. All right. Someone asked for the euro against the dollar. So let's continue with the euro dollar. As you can see, it's just the beginning of the week, and the price it's a bit lazy, I would call it. It's not very much volatility and movement, and the price just holding now on this support level, as you can see from the left, which was a demand here on the left. Then now it became a support because the price already checked this level once. Now it's the second time the price reached that level, and that's the picture we can have now in this 4H time frame. The only thing we can say, I think I mentioned this also last time, that as you can see, the price was in this nice uptrend. Okay, that was the last low of this uptrend. Once the price broke out here, this last low, it gave us the signal that this uptrend is end, and we are now inside the bearish zone. All right, this momentum ends at the moment the price here broke out this low. That was the signal here for the fact that this momentum is end and we are now in a bearish momentum, and it was the signal look for sell position. There was a supply here that you could see maybe in lower time frame. This is the retrace, and here we are continuing down all the way. For now, at least in my opinion, the price, the next destination of the price is here, this demand. Okay, it doesn't mean that you are now should press and click on the sell button. All right, It doesn't mean that the price will go all the way down just now because I believe this is the final destination. The price can still get there, but we don't know if it will be like this, trade away all the way down, or maybe a technical correction and then go all the way down, or maybe not. So that can be the target if we are already in a sell position. If we are not, we can try to look for a good supply. We go lower to the 1H time frame, and maybe somewhere here we do have a supply. This one is too high for now. I do believe that on the way down, the price created new supply levels, and I'll take the line up to this level. I believe that somewhere here, or maybe here even, if the price retrace all this way up easily and relax, then we might see from that level, we might see the price continuing down here. We might see the price continuing down all the way, and that will be the final target for me, at least in this situation. Okay, so for now, this is what I'm looking for. This is how it looks. I will take that supply here, even here maybe. I will sell here on the first touch of the price, of course, only if the price reached that level. And if that happened, I will set the stop loss somewhere above this high, a few pips above these levels here. Okay, and the final target can be this level here, this demand here. It's also seems like a good demand to try and take a buy position on the first touch here, maybe here even. Okay, so it's also a great demand to take a buy position. I would be careful with this buy position only from one reason. If the price reach that level, we are in a bearish momentum, and I always prefer to be with the momentum. For example, if we are about to sell here now, if the price would raise all the way up and we're selling at the first touch here, we are selling and we are in a bearish momentum. We are with the power. But if we are about to buy here, we are against the momentum. That's the difference. It's still a demand level, but it depends when the price came back to that level. If the price came back now in a bearish momentum, it's different from, let's say, if the price here would go all the way down to this level. At this current time, actually, we were in a bullish momentum. If we would see something like this, from that level, the price would go all the way down, and that's the picture we have. Then we can say that at the moment, we are in a bullish momentum, and buy while the price in a bullish momentum, it's a good decision. But now it is still a demand, but we are in a bearish momentum. So I will maybe take the risk at this demand to buy on the first touch, but will be more careful. What I mean, I will roll my stop loss and on the first opportunity faster than usual. Okay, and I will close part of the position earlier than I would do if I would with the momentum. Okay, I do hope it's clear what I just tried to explain now. Okay, so that's the situation for the euro dollar at the moment. As you can see, also in the 15-minute chart, I don't see any clear situation. For the short-term intraday traders, maybe only if the price will break out this level here, then my conclusion will be that most likely we will see the price tends to reach this level. So we have this buffer to try and take some buy position as intraday or short-term traders. but only for now if the price will break out this last high. Okay. All right. Any questions, guys? If you have, feel free. Okay. Next one, I'll take the US dollar against the Canadian, the loonie, and all right, let's go to the daily chart, weekly chart. Well, for the long terms, we can see that the dollar is losing power against many of the pairs, against most of the pairs. Also, the last few days, we can see that the dollar just, not specifically in this situation, but against other pairs, you can see a nice recovery from the dollar. Anyway, that situation in the dollar against the loonie in this daily chart, if we take a look on the, on the weekly chart, we can see here on the left exactly why the price holding at this level here. It is this level, which is kind of demand, which was probably here a previous demand. So it's about, I would call it support level here. Okay. In my opinion, the price will stay in this bearish momentum at least until the price reach that level here below. This is what I think. Again, it doesn't mean it's going to happen now. It can be like technical correction, then the price will go all the way down, and technical correction in this weekly chart can be few hundred of pips also. So I just understand where is the next critical level here on the left that might hold the price and stop the price from continuing falling down. And at least for now, I don't see any strong level that would do that. This is a support level here. I can understand why the price have a technical correction here and had a delay. But for the long term, I do believe the price on his way to this level here below. So I'll keep following this. Now, if you are long-term traders or swing term, I would look for a sell position somewhere here above for a new supply maybe, or something like this. We had this one, but it's not valid anymore. And this is the 4H time frame. And to be honest, here on the left, if I go from where the price now to the left and look above, I truly don't see any clear level that I can put my finger on and say, okay, here I'm going to sell on the first touch. Only here above, but it's very far from now, as you can see. So if I was a swing or long-term traders, I don't see any clear opportunity on this pair at the moment. If I don't find any clear opportunity, I just leave it. For the short term, if we go to the 15-minute chart, this is what we have now. The price created here kind of demand level. I think we also have few opportunities here, but it's only few pips for maybe scalpers, because we can see that the price after this uptrend here, the price broke out this low just with a tiny few pips, but it can give a clear picture for scalpers. And here we have a great supply, again, great for very short-term traders. And this is the first touch. So once the price reached that level, we can get to conclusion that we might see the price go all the way down here, or maybe to this demand below. So selling this level on the first touch can be a smart decision for intraday or short-term traders. Be in this position is still relevant, and try to take all the way down here or here. That can be a good, there is a good reason for that. I would consider to buy on the first touch at this demand from the left. Again, it's 15-minute chart, so I'm talking about short, intraday traders, scalpers, whatever you call it. This demand here from the left, it seems like a good one to buy on the first touch for short-term intraday traders. You just saw how it looks on this 1 minute chart. I didn't explain this, but that's the reason I put the line here. This is the struggling between buyers and sellers. You can see the few small candles, and then the price run away from that level. I do believe here there are unfilled orders waiting for the price. You can see the same picture, a bit powerless. Here you can see what happened after. This is considered as powerless compared to this one. So, but we have the same picture of this struggling between buyers and sellers with a few small candles here. And you can see what happened on the first touch of the price at this level here, or maybe here. And after a while, it became support. But the reaction you see here, here, or here, it's because of the unfilled orders that the price left here. And this one seems more like the source of all this movement. So I will take the risk at this level. I set the stop loss a bit below here. And as an intraday trader or short-term trader, I'll try to take my daily target. I cannot say the target from now because it's depend how the price will reach that level, if at all. Okay. So the next one we going to talk about is the Aussie against the dollar, all right? As someone just mentioned this. Okay, that's the Aussie against the dollar. Okay. So this is what we have in this 15-minute chart. I go to the higher time frame and then I will roll down. And we can see that the price is in a significant uptrend for a long time here. Okay. But lately we can see it's again, it's kind of compression. The price keep moves up, but it doesn't seem like a very powerful movement. Right? Not even like this one, probably not like this healthy movement. All right. You can see the difference between this momentum and how this one looks. Small candles, the price like struggling to go up and create each time a new and a new a bit higher. And for every up movement, we can see the technical correction right after to collect the unfilled orders and continue up. I would call it at least this is what we can see on this chart. It is a powerless movement uptrend. And if we go to this weekly chart, try to get some conclusion from the left, it is an uptrend and it seems like powerless on the daily charts. But from the other side, here on the left, we also don't have a strong level that will throw the price down, at least not until the price will reach that area of resistance. You can see why it's resistance. It was originally supply here from the left. This is the first touch. This is the second and the third, or this is the third. It doesn't matter. But the only time that we could use this situation as a supply and sell is here. After that, this supply is not relevant anymore. And we had a nice reaction there on weekly chart. So now it's resistance. What was before a supply, after the price check a few times, became resistance zone. So from looking at this time and this chart, I don't see any critical level here from the left that will stop the price from continuing up, at least up to this level. So only here I will look for reversal signal from the lower time frame. And of course, I won't sell there on the first touch. Once again, it is not supply anymore. And I usually sell on the first touch only on supply and demand level. Daily chart, I even don't see some clear demand here from the left. The next available one is just here, very low, far away from where are we now. It's about 1,000 pips, but that's the only available demand I can see in this daily chart. Let's go to the lower time frame, see if we have any great opportunity. The price created here at the opening of this week. A supply, you can see the few small candles and then drop down. This is the first touch. This is the continuation. And this is where we now. Okay, the price here just holding on this support level. We had some kind of demand here, not very good one. This is the first touch. Anyway, we do have support level here. I believe that the price will break out this support after a while, but the next destination will be this level that seems like a demand in this 1 hour chart, but I'm not sure it will still look like a great demand if we roll down to the 15-minute chart. Okay, so that's the situation now. So if we're looking for sell position, I'm not sure about this situation. We do have a nice red candles here, but it's not the picture I look for when I look for a clear supply and significant one. This is not the picture I look for. So I will always, at this situation, I just keep moves on and check other pairs. All right, so let's take for now, as someone asked, just one of the Japanese yen. Well, I'll take the Swiss against the yen if we already have it here. This is, all right, let's start with the daily chart. Okay. And we can see that the price stopped here at this resistance level, all this level, resistance zone. And the price just now moves down. This is I would like to see on the weekly chart. Oh, we can see further that we are in a significant resistance zone here from the left. Okay. Again, resistance, it's not the level to sell on the first touch, or it's not the level to sell unless you find a good reason from the lower time frame. So 4H time frame, and for now, the only thing I can say which clear to my eyes, it's if the price will break out this level. And when I'm talking about breakout, I think I mentioned this before, but I'll say it again. I'm not talking about something like this. Okay? Something that we won't have a doubt that the price broke out this level, all right? Something like this, which is clear and straightforward. So if that happened, then I will look for a new supply that the price created. The reason is that if that happened, I believe the price will continue all the way down to the final destination here, maybe here even, this demand. And here we do have a buffer of 80 pips between these levels. So let's say that something like this happened. The price creates some supply here above and let the price to retrace and sell on the first touch. I will risk only the supply level that I found and let the price hopefully continue all the way down to this target. That's the only clear situation I can see from this chart on this pair, the Swiss against the Japanese yen. 15-minute charts, nothing clear. You can see how it looks. Okay. Sometimes it's like this, especially in the beginning of the week. Sometimes the week starts very aggressively with a huge gap or very high volatility, but sometimes the week starts easily, and after a while, after a day or two, the price gets some movement and direction. So, and create a new supply or demand levels. For now, the market is a bit lazy. As you can see, if I was a swing trader or short trend traders, maybe just for scalpers, you can take few pips here and there, but nothing clear, even from this 5-minute chart. Okay. So before we end, someone else, if you have any other pairs that you want to analyze or some other pairs that you have any position on and you want to check together, uh, please be my guest. Just write it on the chat box. Okay. US market holiday will have impact today. Oh, yes. If there is a holiday in the US, that's the reason we don't see any significant movement probably now. Okay. If it makes sense to trade when US stock market in holiday, you mean? It's not about sense. It's about the charts. If I would see any clear levels, as in some case I saw, I will act at this level. If there are no fresh supply or demand levels to trade, then I won't. And in this case, I can understand now why the price uh, didn't create a fresh supply or demands, or seems a bit lazy since there is a holiday in the US. So that's the reason probably. And anyway, I get my decision only by the price on the chart. Okay, so someone asked for the Kiwi against the Japanese yen. All right, well, let's take this one. Here it is. Okay. Well, as you can see, many of the pairs are in a correlation with the other. Like this situation, to be honest, in this Kiwi against the yens, we might have nice opportunity here above. We'll check it out. Let's start with the daily chart. Okay, we can see by this daily chart that the price is in a bullish momentum. The reason that the price stopped here, we probably can see if we just switch to the weekly chart. This is where the price stopped. So let's take the weekly chart. Can you see where the price stopped? And here it is. On the weekly chart, we might have a kind of supply here, it seems like. I'm not sure about. We can maybe get a picture of the daily chart from this level. Yeah. Okay. Now you can see, you see these two small candles, the price then dropped down from that level. Here it seems that immediately the price turned back to collect more orders and continue. I'm not sure if to call this a fresh supply. It seems that the price already touched this supply, but still, that's the reason we have the reaction now, a few days ago, here above. So for every movement of the price, there is an explanation, usually. That's the reason we have this situation here now. And if we go back to the left, we can see the fresh supply here. And this is the first touch. If we already take a look at this picture, because it's a nice, clear picture, you can see the drop down of this price from that level. And after a few months, the price recover all the way. First touch of the price and continue down. Okay. So let's go back to the present. This is the daily chart. This is what we have, and we are still in a bullish momentum. 4H time frame here on the left. To be honest, I don't see any clear demand. This one, maybe it doesn't seem like a strong one. The price didn't rise up from that level very fast and aggressively. So I'm not sure about this one. It's also seems like more a support level than demand. not the strongest. Anyway, I wouldn't consider to buy on the first touch at this level. And in my opinion, the price on his way down to this level. Okay, and only if the price will break out this level, then it will change this momentum that we see on the left. So far and until now, we are still in a bullish momentum, but we also don't have a great demand from the left to rely on and sell on the first touch. Well, let's roll down to the 15-minute chart, and this is what we have. And in a difference from other pairs that we just saw, this level didn't tested yet by the price. So I think if I were the intraday short-term trader, I would consider to sell here on the first touch. You can see also this supply that the price created here, the struggling between buy and sell orders, and then the price dropped down. This is the first touch after a while and continue down. Let's take a look at this 5-minute chart, you can see, and 1-minute chart, and see if this level is still right. Yep, I would take the risk at this level, maybe here. All right. From this level, we can really see the price really drop down, run away. So I would risk this level. Well, let's say even 11 pips. All right, 11, 12 pips to risk, and in order to reach the next destination somewhere here below. Of course, only if the price will touch this level that we just mentioned on this 15-minute chart. Okay, so it's a great level to sell on the first touch. All right. Okay, well, I do not have a tutorial on my strategy. It's not something that I invented, but you can just search for supply demand method. There are many YouTube videos. You can also look for in our on our blog in the website on the website. Sorry, you will find some 4 videos which call order flows. You can also find them on our YouTube channel. Just search for The5ers YouTube channel, and there are 4 videos. There is a series of 4 videos which explain very good about supply and demand, order flow, which is about the same. Okay, right. Last one, we'll take the pound against the Canadian. Okay, sure, you're welcome. Okay, pound against the Canadian, and I think we will end with this one. And okay, daily chart. This is how it looks. Okay, if I were the long-term traders which rely on the daily chart, I wouldn't even stay on this chart, not even for a few seconds. Nothing interesting. There is no direction. Weekly chart, you can see, not interesting. 4H time frame. I think we tried this pair last time also, and I say that I don't like this kind of charts, but you know, that's what we saw on this higher time frame. So let's take a look on this 15 minutes and the lower time frame. If we have a good opportunity, we had this demand. You can see in the lower time frame, the picture sometimes can be different. We had this demand. You can see the price run away from that level. This is the first touch after the price created this demand, and that's the reaction. We had a nice reaction from that level. I think the price still didn't broke out this level. Here it's go a bit deeper, here even deeper, and here. But if we take the lowest level of this demand, this cube, the price didn't broke out this demand. Anyway, it's not relevant, of course, anymore if we're talking about buy on the first touch. So I think here above we have a supply level, which can be relevant for the first touch of the price to sell there. and only if I was a swing, sorry, a short intraday trader. As we look on this 5-minute chart, I'll take my word back. It's not the perfect level. We can see the price fall down, but we can see these wicks at the top of the candle, which indicates that the price did make a retrace to check these levels, and we just don't see it. If we just roll to the 1-minute chart, we will see something like this probably. So from this 5-minute chart, I cannot really say that the price ran away from that level aggressively and didn't came back, and never after the price created this level. So I won't take this level. So only for this, also in this short term 5 or 15 minutes time frame, what I see now, I don't like these charts. So I'm sorry if it's disappoint you. Anyway, I prefer to throw away this chart. If I don't see any clear opportunity, I don't trade this pair. Believe me, there are many opportunities, all right, in the Forex market every week for short-term and intraday traders for sure every day. And for swing traders, you don't need more than few trades in a week. So usually when it's not clear for me, I don't trade it. Okay. All right. I think that's all for today, guys. And thank you for joining us and participating in this trading room. I hope you enjoy it and wish you all a very successful trading week. And that's all. Thank you. See you tomorrow, the same time. Thank you. Bye bye.